All right, let's get into it. You hear Alison McLean's song, Now is the Moment. And, on the surface, it seems so simple. It's really just built around this one powerful repeating line. But what if that simplicity is actually the point? What if it's a key that unlocks a much, much deeper message about our own potential? Well, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to deconstruct these lyrics and find the guide to personal power that's been hiding in plain sight.
This right here, this is the heart of the whole thing. You hear it again and again. Now is the moment of power. I mean, that is a bold statement. It sounds really inspiring, for sure, but it also kind of makes you stop and ask a pretty big question.
What kind of power are we even talking about here? And how in the world are we supposed to tap into it? Right here, in this moment. That's the question we're going to follow. Let's use the song's lyrics as our map and figure this out together. So our journey has to start with the song's most basic belief, and it lays it out right in the very first line. This is the foundation for everything else we're about to explore. And there it is. So clear, so direct. Right off the bat, the song just throws out the whole idea that power is something you get from the outside. From money or your job or what other people think of you. Nope. Instead, it tells us to look inward. That one little line completely reframes the whole conversation.
Okay, so if all the power is inside us, the next question is pretty obvious. How do we actually use it? And what's cool is the song doesn't just leave us hanging. It actually gives us a how-to, a mechanism for tapping into this internal power. And it all comes down to our minds.
And this is where things get really fascinating, because the lyrics line up perfectly with a real scientific idea called neuroplasticity. This is basically the concept that your brain isn't some fixed thing. It's more like clay. We can actively change it, we can carve out new pathways, and literally reshape how we think and act.
And look at this. The song basically gives us a 3-step process. First, you got to activate your mind, right? Get those neurons firing. Then you have to be intentional about it. It has to be self-directed. And finally, you do it over and over until you hardwire that new way of thinking into place. It's like a little recipe for changing your own mind on purpose.
So let's take stock. We know where the power is. It's within. And we know the tool to use it, our mind. But that just leads to a much deeper question, doesn't it? What's the point of all this? What are we supposed to be aiming all this mental energy at?
This is where the song adds another layer. It shifts gears a little, moving away from the nuts and bolts of the mind and toward the quality of our awareness. It's moving from just thinking to truly being present. The spoken part of the song starts right here, with this idea to honor our presence. See, this isn't about doing something, it's about being something. It's about actually recognizing how important this present moment is, the very now that the whole song is about.
So how do you do that? What's the easiest, most basic way to anchor yourself in the present moment? The song gives us the answer. Our breath. It's that physical, constant rhythm of being alive. It's the one thing you can always, always come back to.
And when you honor your presence and you focus on your breath, you naturally end up with a deep appreciation for our life itself. It's such a simple but profound little journey, from just being aware of the moment to feeling grateful you even exist. So let's just put these two big ideas next to each other for a second. On one hand, you've got action. That's the brain work, the deliberate, self-directed rewiring of our thoughts. And on the other hand, you've got awareness. That's the gentle, mindful practice of just being present. What this song is telling us is that real power isn't one or the other. It's what happens when you bring them both together.
But there's still one last piece to this puzzle. We've gone inward to find our power, and we've learned how to center ourselves in the now. So what's it all for? The song reveals the ultimate purpose of this whole journey, and believe me, it's not just about self-improvement.
And here it is. This is the absolute peak of the song's message. All that internal work, all that quiet mindfulness. It's not designed to make you an island. It's meant to prepare you to see something incredible within each other. A potential for real connection, for unconditional love. The whole journey inward was so you could better connect outward. So, when you put all the pieces together, the song has given us a complete roadmap. It starts with this core idea. Power is internal. From there, we find out the mind is the tool to shape it. Presence is the practice to ground it. And in the end, connection is the ultimate purpose of it all. Which brings us right back to where we started. But this time, that phrase, now is the moment of power, feels different, doesn't it? It's not just some nice, inspiring idea anymore. It feels totally actionable. It's not just a feeling. It's a formula.
The power of now is the power to direct your mind, to be present in your life, and to create a connection with others. And so the song leaves us with this final thought, a question that I'm now going to pass on to you. If this moment, right here, right now, really is your moment of power, what will you decide to create with it?